Diary from the Journey. How to use this diary for readers and future volunteers. This diary is designed to be read in two ways. As a story, for any reader, read it from week 1 to week 8 like a journey. You'll follow real people as they arrive, adapt, collaborate, struggle, create, and finally return home with lessons. The narrative framework is the hero's journey. 8 weeks of challenges, discoveries, and transformation, returning with lessons to inspire and create change. As a practical guide for future volunteers/youth workers, use each week as a mini module. Every chapter can be reused as a template for your own experience: what to focus on, what to observe, how to reflect, and how to record evidence of impact. Stories, photos, feedback, outcomes. The Hero's Journey deck also proposes using a weekly form and weekly evaluation to structure this documentation. How to get the most value from it? Read the weekly chapter first, then read the volunteer's diary entries or examples for that week. Pause and answer the prompts, even if you're only a reader. The diary works as a learning tool when you interact with it. Collect proof of learning, not only memories, 1 to 2 photos, a quote from a community member, a quick note of what changed, and one lesson you want to carry forward. This matches the intention of having weekly forms/evaluation and gathering experiences for the diary output. Suggested minimum standard for writing your own diary: future volunteers. 1 short entry per week, per person or per team. 1 moment that mattered, challenge/discovery/breakthrough. 1 lesson learned plus 1 next step. 1 community interaction recorded, a conversation, meeting, workshop, observation. 1 piece of evidence, photo, poster, screenshot, attendance number, testimonial. Executive summary, what the volunteering program is and what it enables. This volunteering program brings together 36 young people from 6 countries for about 2 months, around 60 days. The aim is simple and ambitious. Young people work in an international team to put into practice initiatives they had already developed earlier and implement them in a real community with the support of the hosting organization. The program is structured in a learning-by-doing progression. Weeks 1 to 2, orientation and introduction to local/regional/national cycling policy context, community needs assessment, guest speakers. Weeks 3 to 4, deepening and adapting the project proposals with mentoring, adjusting them to real local needs. Weeks 5 to 6, team formation with local youth, training on community engagement, outreach and partnerships with organizations/authorities. Weeks 7 to 8, implementation, launching initiatives, running workshops/events, regular mentor check-ins, and support. Final week focus, evaluation, reflection, sustainability planning, closing and recognition. What this enables. From ideas to reality, participants move from planning to real implementation, adapting to constraints, meeting stakeholders, and delivering community actions. Offline connection and teamwork across countries. The program's core purpose is to connect young people offline through shared work and shared responsibility. Community impact around cycling policies and infrastructure. The actions are designed to contribute to improving cycling culture/policy awareness and local cycling-related needs through workshops, events, collaboration, and dialogue. A transferable, inspiring output. The experiences are gathered into a diary from the journey so that other young people can learn from it and feel encouraged to act. 1. Setting the scene. 1.1 Project context, connecting youth offline through an international volunteering program. This manual is built for educators who want to create an in-person international volunteering experience where young people collaborate offline to address a community challenge through cycling-related actions. The educational logic is simple. Young people often have motivation and opinions, but lack structured spaces to turn them into collective action. Real learning happens when ideas meet reality. People, institutions, constraints, and unpredictability. Volunteering offers an intense environment for civic learning by doing. Teamwork, responsibility, public communication, and community engagement. Manual style box. What makes this model work? Offline community, shared daily life plus shared work creates trust and deep learning. A tangible topic, cycling, easy to observe on the street, easy to discuss with locals, and linked to sustainability, accessibility, public space, and well-being. Action plus reflection. The experience is designed to produce both community actions and personal learning. 1.2. The volunteering framework. Purpose, roles, hosting/sending organizations, timeline. This section describes the minimum structure needed to run the model in another place. You can scale up or down, but the logic stays the same. Roles, replicable for any partnership. Host team, local coordinators, provides the local base, logistics, safety, daily schedule. Opens doors to the community, introductions to local groups, institutions, stakeholders, mentors the implementation, helps teams adapt plans to reality and solve problems fast. Sending teams, home organizations, prepare participants before arrival, expectations, skills, intercultural readiness, support follow-up after return, sharing results, continued engagement at home. Maintain continuity. Help volunteers connect this experience to their longer learning pathway. Volunteers, participants. Co-own the process, not helpers, but co-creators of community actions. Document learning and impact. What changed, what worked, what didn't, why. Manual style checklist, host readiness, minimum. A safe daily structure, check-ins, clear tasks, emergency contacts. Access to community stakeholders, at least 5 to 10 relevant contacts. A mentoring system, who supports teams when plans change. A simple documentation system, weekly logs plus evidence collection. Timeline, 8-week rhythm that can be replicated. The model uses an 8-week arc because it balances enough time to understand the local context, enough time to build trust and partnerships, enough time to deliver actions and reflect. Manual style box. The rhythm educator should protect every week should include a moment to act, fieldwork/delivery/outreach, a moment to reflect, guided prompts, group debrief, a moment to document, evidence plus learning points, a moment to replan. Adaptation is part of the method. 1.3. Link to previous phases, from youth exchange ideas to real-life implementation. This volunteering model works best when it is not a cold start. Ideally, it follows an earlier phase where participants already built shared motivation and group trust, learned a common method for turning ideas into projects, created early-stage initiative drafts, prototypes. In your case, that earlier phase was the youth exchange, where teams worked with a structured methodology, dreaming to planning to doing to celebrating, to transform concerns into initiatives. The volunteering phase is the field test. Initiatives are adjusted to real local needs, real stakeholders, and real constraints. Manual style box, how to replicate the bridge. If you don't have a youth exchange, you can recreate the bridge with a short preparatory process before volunteering. Idea sprint, 2 to 3 days. Define problems plus draft initiatives. Planning sprint, 2 to 3 days. Roles, timeline, stakeholder map. Readiness check, 1 day. Feasibility plus adaptation plan. Then the volunteering starts with teams already carrying draft initiatives they can adapt. 2. The volunteering program roadmap, practical overview. This roadmap is designed so any educator or host organization can replicate the model in another place. It follows an 8-week arc that balances 4 needs: understanding the local context, adapting ideas into realistic plans, building partnerships and teams, and delivering visible community actions. Reflection and documentation are treated as part of the learning, not as extra tasks. 2.1 Weeks 1 to 2. Orientation and understanding the local cycling context. Goal: help the group arrive safely, build trust, and understand how cycling works in the host area, everyday cycling culture, barriers, stakeholders, and the reality of infrastructure and road behavior. Core activities, kickoff and team building, first 2 days. Set expectations, agree on basic group rules, clarify roles, and create a supportive atmosphere where people can ask for help and learn at different speeds. Local context and needs assessment, days 3 to 5 model. Observe and map cycling-related challenges and opportunities through short rides or walks, simple audits, brief interviews, and quick surveys. The focus is to learn from what you see on the street and what people tell you. Guest voices, optional but recommended. Invite people from local civil society and or public services to share what is already happening and what the current local challenges are. Outputs by the end of week 2. A context map. What supports cycling, what blocks it, who matters, and where the key hotspots are. A needs and opportunities list, prioritized by urgency and feasibility. A shared local vocabulary, key terms, sensitivities, and practical do's and don'ts. Week 1. Workshops, bicycle basics and safe riding, peer-to-peer model. Why these workshops are necessary: participants rarely arrive with the same confidence or experience. Some can fix a puncture and ride in traffic, others may feel unsure about basic handling. To make the program inclusive and to avoid safety issues later, the group needs a minimum shared baseline. A peer-to-peer approach works especially well. Participants with more experience co-create and co-lead the sessions, which reduces hierarchy, builds trust, and turns skills into a shared resource. Core principle: no one is left behind, and no one carries the group alone. Workshop A, Bike Basics. Setup, basic repairs, cleaning, and parts. Aim ensure every participant can understand basic bicycle parts and terminology, check whether a bike is safe to ride, perform simple maintenance, and clean and care for the bike properly. Recommended timing 2 to 3 hours, can be split into 2 shorter sessions. Roles: peer leaders, more experienced participants, design the flow, demonstrate, coach. Facilitator, host staff, ensures safety, timekeeping, inclusion, and materials. All participants, practice hands-on, pair up, and document key learnings. Materials: bikes, pumps, tire levers, spare tubes or patch kit, basic multi-tools, chain lube, cloths/brushes, biodegradable cleaning supplies, a simple bike parts poster, optional gloves. Suggested structure: opening and comfort level check-in, bike parts and vocabulary, hands-on. Quick, ready-to-ride safety check, air, brakes, chain cranks, quick bolt check. Basic maintenance and repairs: inflate, puncture demo plus practice, basic brake check, chain care, when to ask for a mechanic. Cleaning and care, wrap-up, 1 new skill gained, 1 remaining question, optional buddy mechanics pairing. Outputs: everyone completes a basic bike safety check, a 1-page Bike Basics quick guide created or adapted by the group. Mixed skill buddy pairs established for early rides. Workshop B, Safe cycling, road safety basics and guided practice ride, country adaptable. Aim ensure every participant understands essential cycling road safety rules in the host country, can ride safely in a group using clear roles and communication, and can apply safe behaviors on nearby streets or paths. Recommended timing 2.5 to 4 hours total, 45 to 60 minutes theory, 90 to 150 minutes practice. Roles: lead guides, experienced riders, lead at the front and model pace and decisions. Rear guides/sweeps, ensure nobody is left behind and manage regrouping. Facilitator, host staff, risk assessment, route design, briefing, incident plan. Participants start as followers, rotate roles if appropriate. Materials: 1-page local rules summary, adapted to local law. Route plan, low traffic loop, with regroup points, first aid kit, emergency contacts, optional high-vis vests, a simple hand signals list, lights, reflectors if needed. Suggested structure: safety briefing and stop protocol. Local rules and street logic, based on reliable sources. Micro practice: signals, scanning behind, braking, spacing, single file/2 abreast as locally appropriate. Guided practice ride in small groups, lead plus sweep, using a leader/follower format. Debrief, what felt easy/hard, one personal safety commitment, shared group riding norms. Outputs, a shared group riding code, common understanding of minimum road safety rules for the host context, stronger cohesion through the we look after each other riding culture. Optional add-on, skill level mapping, 10 minutes, participants self-rate confidence 1 to 5 in maintenance riding and riding in traffic. Use results only to form mixed groups and choose a safe pace.